And I call this meeting to order on Friday, August 12th at 1:01 p.m. Emily, would you please call roll?
Yes. Dave Berry.
Here.
Susan Busenbark.
Here.
Judy Crocker. Judy?
Judy, are you there?
You're muted if you are. Kay Hall.
Here.
Lisa Kanashak.
Here.
Mary Jo Matusik.
Here.
Paul Mills.
Here.
Kathy Parker.
Here.
Scott Poynton.
Here.
Dee Reynolds. Michelle Simmons.
Here.
Laura Turner.
Here.
Dane Ward.
Here.
Lori Wilcox. Here. Harriet Zipfel.
Here.
Okay. We didn't get Judy.
He's reconnecting
Okay.
them. We're having some Polycom / firewall issues.
And Dee Reynolds was supposed to be on the phone also.
That is connected.
Okay.
Okay.
She may join us.
We'll keep trying.
Okay, we'll do the roll call of the rails. Emily?
You mean guests?
The guest, right.
Emily Feister, Burr Ridge.
Jane Plannis, Rails. Dee Brennan, Rails.
Ryan Heppel, Rails. Bill Getz, Rails.
Barb Brooks Rails.
Tortorella, Rails.
Mary Witt, Rails.
Ann Slaughter Rails.
Thank you.
Can we see who joined? Did Dee Reynolds, you're on the phone now?
Yes, I am.
Great. Wow, we got everybody.
Are there any public comments?
This whole board. Do we have any?
You need to do the guests from the other sites.
Oh. Okay, in Bolingbrook, do we have anybody down there?
Hi, it's Louise Savela from Rails.
Thank you. And in Coal Valley?
I don't think so. Not right now. Not right now.
Okay, East Peoria?
Nope.
Nope.
Rockford? Nope. Illinois State Library?
Yes, good afternoon. Deborah Aggert. This is Pat Bowes. Pat Berg.
Thank you. Galesburg?
John Sayers from Kiwani.
Barbara Love Kiwani. I wonder if they couldn't hear on the microphone.
Quincy. We don't have Quincy back on yet? Okay.
And no guess in Quincy.
And we did hear them in Galesburg.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay, next is adoption of the agenda. I have a motion, a second for adoption of the agenda.
So moved.
I'll second. Oh, let Mary Jo have it.
Mary Jo and
Oh, I moved. Mary Jo seconded.
Mary Jo second. Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Opposed, nay. Hearing none, motion carried. Now I need a motion for approval of the minutes from the July 22nd Rails Board meeting.
So moved.
Kate?
Second.
Okay. Moved in second. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
I abstain, Emily.
I have to abstain as well.
Oh, yeah, I will too.
Get that, Emily? Okay. Motion carried. Okay, the financial report.
Bill.
Bill?
Hey, Jim, you look so different today.
Jim's on vacation, so you get me today. The July financial report is in the package, so I'll just mention a few of the highlights. You probably noticed the total expenditure for $6.324 million. Of that, $5 million went to buy a CD at Wintrust Bank. And we also had $546,000 worth of group purchases that will be reimbursed by the libraries as time goes on. So without those expenditures, the normal expenditure of $779,000 is balanced there. So,
Which is pretty typical.
which is, the normal. And then concerning the Wintrust CD, we invested $5 million in a fully collateralized 6-month CD yielding 0.35%, with a no penalty provision for early redemption. So basically making it a fully liquid investment.
Like that.
For comparison, last year, our 1-year CD only yield 0.25%. We also have a $3.75 million money market account at Hinsdale Bank, and that's yielding 0.25%, up from 0.1% last year. And then we have our Illinois Money Market Fund, $3.65 million, and at the end of July, it was yielding 3.376%, which is up from 0.1% last year. I'm sorry, last year it was 0.034%. So we were up to 0.376%. A lot of yield, but going in the right direction. So except for the $3.97 million we have at the PMA Financial Network and the 1-year CD, which is yielding 0.714%, which last year yielded 0.4%. Our cash and investments are all liquid, and the yields are moving in the right direction. At the end of July, the general fund cash and investments of $13.3 million would fund roughly 14 months of operation. That's based on our fiscal year 17 budget expenditures. We received no grant revenue in July, so the majority of our revenue came from contracts with the LSAPs and group purchases billed to the other libraries. The Special Revenue Fund, which previously included the Talking Book program, is now comprised of just the Market Quality program and the IMLS digital program. And neither program had any revenue or expenditures during July. The Talking Books program is now being funded through the general fund. And then we had one vehicle budgeted for fiscal year 17, $20,000 for Coal Valley, and we purchased that in July for $17,946. That's pretty much the highlights.
And so what's the total cash and investments?
The total cash and investments is $23,500,000.
Okay, great.
Which is about 24 months if we unassign the other two things. So we're doing good as far as the money goes. We're going along as planned.
Okay. Are there any questions? Very none. Thank you, Bill.
Thank you. Don't go too far.
Okay, first of all, a roll call vote is
No, not on this, just on the
on
expenditures.
expenditures.
Yep.
Well, why don't you,
Not too far?
I think we still
No,
have
we
to
need a-
vote
we need a
to
motion.
accept
So
it, but not a roll call vote.
I'll move that we approve the financial report as presented.
I'll second.
first and second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none. Motion carried.
Okay, as I mentioned, the total expenditures for the month of July were $6,324,645.32, listed in the package.
Now I'll entertain a motion to approve the expenditures.
I'll move.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Dave Barry,
Yes.
Susan Busbar,
Yes.
Judy Crocker, Kate Hall,
Yes.
Lisa Knashak,
Yes.
Mary Jo Matusek,
Yes.
Paul Mills,
Yes.
Kathy Parker,
Yes.
Scott Poynton,
Yes.
Dee Reynolds,
Yes.
Michelle Simmons,
Put that over there.
Yes.
Laura Kruger,
Yes.
Dane Ward,
Yes.
Lori Wilcox.
Yes.
Harriet Ziffel.
Yes.
What? Can you hear us, Judy?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay.
Okay.
And just be sure that you don't mute yourselves because of the Open Meeting Act.
Okay. Motion carries. Time for reports. Port of Rails President, I think last week, Dee and I went down to the Illinois State Library and we met with Mr. McCormick, and it was a very good experience for me. And I think I'll allow Dee to go into further detail when she gets to her report on that.
Okay, sure.
No further reports? Okay. Paul, do you have any?
We have not met since the last Rails board meeting, although there will be a working group meeting, one of the working groups of the Rails Consortium meeting at the end of this month in Sterling, Illinois. And Jane and I and many others will be there.
Thank you. Delivery Committee.
Has not met.
Good. Executive Committee hasn't met either. Policy Committee.
We'll be meeting on September 9th at 2 p.m.
And Kathy, do you have anything about members? Standards?
Yeah, and Dave, you were there. Joe was there. Yeah, we met on Monday, and we had, 30 people or so, which I think that the committee has whittled down a bit, but we still have a lot of representation. We were able to approve the standards that, with all the recommendations and suggestions, we cleaned them up quite a bit, wordsmithed a lot, made them all measurable, which was a huge task, and always the thing we always had to come back to. But the full committee did approve what we came up with, and we're just going to move forward on talk about the training. We have to do the training component and getting the information out to the members.
Right.
Also. Right.
I sent that meeting packet down to Greg McCormick, too, because he had asked about it.
Did he have any comments on it, or he probably hasn't had a chance?
No, I haven't heard back. Right.
I know I saw, Emily, you had their changes already made.
Yep, we just sent those out yesterday.
Yeah. So it's coming along. Hopefully by the time I'm off the board, we can get those.
Thank you very much, Kathy.
That's my goal.
Okay. Dave will do your executive report.
Okay, yes, thank you. Yes, as Dave said, we traveled to Springfield and had a meeting with Greg McCormick. We talked about many things. We talked about the membership standards, and he reminded us, and of course we agree, that these have to be statewide standards, not just Rails standards. And I, pointed out that many, if not all, of our neighboring states have statewide standards, and that certainly we can do that in Illinois as well. So I think that it will be good for Rails to sort of test these out to show that they are not scary or exclusive. So that's kind of the way we're moving forward. We also talked, he was very curious about some of the changes that are happening in the LSAPs with the SWAN, Link, and Magic consolidation. So we talked about that. We talked about the statewide delivery service and how important it is that that be successful so that we can, move forward to do, more improvements to delivery, including re-examining where the actual hubs should be. That is, the current hubs are based on the previous system's existence, and that may not be the best place for them to be. And it's, part of our plan, looking at Jane, is to get an objective analysis of that done. And we are going to be working with the, I don't know what it stands for, it's LASA, something spatial analysis group at SIU Carbondale, I think.
Not sure.
At the State Library, they may know where. Anyway, and they've been very helpful already in routing improvements to Rails delivery as well as to the Illinois Library Delivery Service. So let's see. We talked about finances in general. We're expecting approval of the budget and the plan of service soon. They've been dealing with a lot of cleanup from the backlog of last year, having to get everything coded and sent over, and then entering, just the changeover from the one year to the next. I'm sure they can explain it way better in the State Library than I'm doing it, and I'm just telling you about our meeting. So we were there 2.5 hours or so. Had a really great discussion. He's interested in, he talked about making system board attendance and participation in system board meetings a priority at the State Library. So I was glad to hear that and said we would be thrilled to see them at any point. Am I leaving anything out?
No, I think you covered everything.
Yeah. We did not get to the chance to talk specifically about Talking Books, but we agreed that we have to. It's in our whole plan to work with them to create a transition plan. So it was great.
Wonderful.
Yep. Questions about that? We also, Kathy told you about the membership standards meeting. I thought it went really well. And as she said, the next thing we need to work on is to flesh out what the training will be and how it will be provided. And we will be putting this on the agenda, I think, in September for this board to discuss. Let's see, we had a tour this morning for some of our new board members. And how did you all think it went, those of you who participated?
It was great.
I learned a lot.
Good. And we look forward to hosting the rest of you, even though I know that some of you could probably give the tour. You just and when we're out in Quincy or Galesburg, we'll certainly be hopefully talking more in depth with people, and then be bringing everybody here for a visit as well. I know that Wes Smith has been in contact with you all about your email. Is everybody all set?
Yep.
Everybody all
Yes.
set
Yes.
in East Peoria, Galesburg, Quincy?
Yes. Except for Lori.
And we have to get you set up, Lori.
Brian's going to help.
Okay. Did I forget anybody? Okay. It's just really important that we get this all sorted out right so that we have good records, and if we ever do, in the unlikely event that we get FOIA'd again, that it, is all controllable. And easily amassable. You will also see that next, attached to my report is a letter from Aaron Skog, from Swan, about their decision to relocate. And I would be happy to answer any questions. Just to remind you, the operations report will be emailed to you at closer to the end of the month, since this meeting is so early because of me.
Dee, is there a more definitive timeline when Swan will be moving out of Burr Ridge?
By October 1st is what we hear. So it's already slipped a little. It was September. It could slip again. We know how these building things go, but I know they had a final walkthrough or something today or sometime this week of the other building, obviously. So, which is, I think, in Westmont.
I believe
All
so,
right.
yeah. Dee, could you talk a little bit more about the multi-library collaborative grant project, the mini grant?
Yes. Maybe I will ask Well, Debbie's not, do you know anything more specific about it, Mary?
I know they're going to expect to have a plan in the fall pretty soon. They've been talking about it. I know they've talked to Dane
And Laura?
Laura, yes. So they're gathering ideas right now, and they expect to have a plan like maybe late September.
Okay.
They definitely want to roll it out for the ILA conference.
Oh, so people can start getting aware of it and start applying.
Yes.
I'm just trying to think of some ideas
Sure.
for, for Atlas and libraries with
Yeah.
Atlas and beyond.
Yep.
I
Laura,
want to talk more about it at the September 29th member update, so they should have more.
okay, it'll be,
fleshed out
right.
than that.
Do you want to add anything, Laura or Dane, about the mini grants? Because I know you both talked to Debbie and Joe. No, you don't have to.
I think they got it
You don't
covered.
have to. Okay, all right.
I mean,
Okay.
we don't
All right.
have anything new from the last time that we met. I mean, the
Okay.
last we heard that plans are underway, so.
Okay.
Let's wait for more information.
Yep. Other questions from anyone, anywhere?
I had a question. I was looking at your LSAP thing about the Link Magic Swan merger. and
Yep.
Note that not everyone's going to be joining
Yep.
Swan, which I don't think anyone's too surprised by that. But
I mean, nothing's final, but that's just the way it looks, yep.
what is a Link or a Magic's Library deadline to make a decision whether they want to go to Swan?
And
December 31st. Okay.
the timeline for this project is impressively detailed and long.
I think I read it.
Yeah, I'm sure you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Couldn't remember what the deadline was.
In between all the board minutes.
I just wanted to say that I thought it was very impressive. I like that you put the number of events.
Isn't that
Since
amazing?
600 events with 9,400 participants
Yeah,
is laudable, especially when you consider that starting out, Joe was by himself.
Yeah.
Now he luckily has Louise, but still very, very impressive,
Yes.
especially given the geographic range. I think if we mapped all of that, which I don't think we have mapped that. Not that I'm suggesting we do that. I just want that to be clear.
Emily's giving
But
you
I think that it would also show good representation throughout the rail service area as well.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's
So.
just real representative of the fact that, obviously CE is still needed and wanted.
Huge, right?
It's getting huge.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not like
Yeah.
people aren't showing up for these
Like
things.
600 events with 602 people.
Right.
Like,
Right. Yep. It's very true. Actually, I did go up to Skokie yesterday to meet with Richard Kong, the new director in Skokie, and he was saying how pleased he was that we were able to keep CE into the administrative rules and how important that is for libraries like his, that they send lots and lots of people, so it's good.
yeah, and even if you can't send people, having the growing archive
Right.
is incredibly helpful as well.
Put on to the next item on the agenda, 7.4, Illinois State Library Report.
Good afternoon. This is Deborah Eggert, and I bring you greetings from the Secretary of State and the apologies of Acting Deputy Director Greg McCormick. And I am here with a report. Greg and I talked this morning, and within the next couple of weeks, we will be resolving all grant distribution for fiscal year 17. He's working on budget issues. That's what he's doing this afternoon to get that all in place. And I want to, thank you, I want to tell you of two programs that are coming up at the Illinois State Library. On September 8th from 10 to 12:30, we will be having the Illinois State Library Advisory Committee here in person at the State Library and in various VTEL locations. There will be mileage if you want to come to the Illinois State Library, but it'll just be mileage, no overnight accommodations, and no lunch. We're going to try to end it by 12:30. There will also be money for the ISLAC members to attend at the VTEL sites, the mileage for them to go there. Also on September 27th, the Secretary of State is hosting his 5th annual Veterans Program here at the Illinois State Library from, I believe, about 11:30 to 12:45, 1 o'clock, with a luncheon to follow and an afternoon program. If anyone on the board of Rails knows of a veteran or knows of a veteran story they'd like to be included in our oral history program, please don't hesitate to contact us at the Illinois State Library. Do you have any questions or concerns?
Could I ask a question about the ISLAC committee? I'm just wondering, because I remember a couple of years ago at one of the system committee meetings, or the joint system meetings, we had gotten a list of who was on that committee, because I have absolutely no idea who's on it. Do we have, is there an updated list?
There is an updated list on the Illinois State Library website under committees.
Okay.
And I'm an ex officio member.
Okay.
Correct.
And do we have, who else from Rails? I mean, not the board, but just from the Rails service?
Dane is on the committee, and Jamie Bukovac is on the committee. Karen Birchie's on the committee.
Okay.
Correct.
I think Karen Danzig, is Karen Danzig-Lyons the chair?
She's the vice chair.
She's the vice chair. Who's the chair, Marion?
Marion Albers.
Yep.
And I'm sorry, I don't have the list I don't have the list in front of me.
ISLAC is the Illinois State Library Advisory Committee, and they're a very important committee. Their charge is to advise the state library on various issues, and many of the other committees that exist are actually officially subcommittees of ISLAC, like the Statewide Delivery Committee, for example.
Thank you.
It's a very important committee.
The agenda will be forthcoming in a week or so.
Great. Thank you very much, Deb.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, and maybe this is, I'm just curious, I'm looking at the list, which is helpful. I didn't realize it was on the State Library's website. But I'm noticing a couple people that are retired, but that are still representing libraries. So I'm curious, kind of what the process is for being on ISLAC and how that is kind of structured and how that happens.
Who are you saying? Susan Singleton?
I was actually looking, the first name that caught my eye was Ann Hughes. I know Ann retired last year. She's listed as a public libraries representative, and not that Ann is not a good representative. I'm just curious kind of what the process is for when that happens and how new members are chosen.
The Secretary of State goes ahead and makes the final the final appointment. We make recommendations. There is a rule of how many have to be from the public, how many from different types of libraries on there. We can make recommendations from the Illinois State Library, but the appointments come from the Secretary himself.
Okay, so then
I have had my own questions about this committee over the years because there was no Rails staff representation. While Ellen Poppet is on the committee as a Heartland member, so I did ask Ann to appoint me and Leslie as ex officio members because the systems, and also there was a staff member from Chicago Public Library who was on the committee, Greta Bever, before she retired. And there are some anomalies of representation, who's in what seat. I don't know how that all works out, but it's a good question. I'm glad you raised it because it is an important committee, and maybe in the future we could get some more information about it.
Yeah, I mean, it would be wonderful if we could get just some more clarification, and especially just in helping to kind of educate all of us about the different roles and different ways of communicating and sharing of information. This seems really important, and it seems like it's maybe not as visible as it could be. So would we be able to get more information on that, Deborah?
The bylaws and everything are there on the website from the Illinois State Library. If you have any direct questions, Kate, that I can answer for you or bring information to the Rails board meeting?
Well, I think just kind of how, I know you said it's the application process, how it's chosen, when people go off, if they're retired, and I know that some of that is in the bylaws, but of course, as I'm sure we all know, I know I have the Rails bylaws memorized. But
Of course you do.
yeah. But I think it's sometimes helpful to have more of a discussion around some of these things, and maybe that's something that we could discuss in the next month or two. I mean, I'm only one person. I don't know if any other board members would find that helpful, but
I would.
Okay, I'll be glad to prepare a report for your next meeting.
that would be
Thank
great.
you, Deb.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. That'd be great.
Information. Kate's not awesome.
Okay.
John, you're still on.
Thank you very much, Deb. Okay, the next, move on to some new business.
Yes.
Emily emailed a memo yesterday with a list of committees and members. The new appointed members are in red. Now, we have to elect the executive committee.
One member of the at-large member of the executive committee.
Right.
The other members are the officers.
The executive committee consists of the president, vice president, secretary, and treasurer, with an additional member. Now, I would like to nominate Mary Jo Matusek to the at-large member position. May I have a second?
Second.
There's a second. All in favor, say aye.
Hi.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Thank you very much, Mary Jo.
Thank you for volunteering, Mary Jo.
So now, are we going back to the board committee appointments then?
Yes.
Okay. I'm just making sure I'm following on that.
Yes.
Right.
So that's not, that doesn't require votes?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That's just Dave's power.
Yeah.
It's going towards you.
Okay.
Does everybody?
All for your,
When are these are effective as of today then?
yes.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure what meetings I needed to take off of my calendar.
And put onto your calendar.
Yes, no, the new ones are all on, but right now I have all the old ones as well, so
Start waiting them out. Oh, I get you. I don't have to wait.
I can just delete.
Yes, thank you everyone for being willing to serve.
Yes. Now, item 8.3, resolution to approve intergovernmental agreement by and between Link, Magic, Rails, and Swan regarding the transfer of certain Link and Magic members libraries to Swan and the cessation of operations and dissolution of Link and Magic. Ann, do you want to provide us with some background?
Sure. So
Should you come up here, Ann?
Yes.
Okay, so this IGA started as an MOU, so we've kind of been
IGA is an MOU.
What is it? You mean an IOU?
Intergovernmental agreement started out as a memorandum of understanding.
yes,
Thank you.
lots of acronyms. So the resolution is what each of the 4 organizations will pass in order to approve the intergovernmental agreement. The intergovernmental agreement is between Link, Magic, Swan, and Rails, and essentially it outlines the procedures in order to kind of kick off the migration project and sets out the commitments of each organization to the project. So for the Rails piece, it is to commit to supporting the project through grants via the procedure policies we've already established for our LSAT membership grant program. For Lincoln Magic, this IGA asks them to commit to and announce their intention to their members to dissolve as organizations and to provide their members with information regarding SWAN membership and a procedure for joining SWAN and making that decision by December 31st, 2016. And for SWAN, it's to, again, provide the membership information and to make as to the acceptance of membership of all the Lincoln Magic libraries that want to join SWAN via their own procedures, but with a single up or down vote. So those are kind of the highlights of this document. The deadline for approval is September 1st, so we anticipate that each of the 4 organizations involved, their boards will approve and sign the resolution and the document at their meetings this month. And then also on September 1st, each of the Lincoln Magic Library directors will be provided with a rather extensive packet of information, the highlight of which will be the SWAN member agreement for their boards and administrative bodies to consider and make a decision about, and lots of other supporting information. And then we anticipate that the project will continue to move forward. So are there any questions about it? The intergovernmental agreement itself is only the first 5 or 6 pages, and the exhibits are really the meat of it, but it's the bylaws of Lincoln Magic and the SWAN intergovernmental agreement.
And the reason that we're a party to it, and I'm glad we are, because we have an interest in this, not just a financial interest, but obviously a financial interest, is, because of that. We have a stake in this, and that is good that that's recognized.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And each of the things that the 4 organizations are committing to under this document kind of provide mutual reassurance all the way around.
Yeah. There is no amount of money in here because we don't know yet what the costs of the project will be, but it will be, the rail support will be determined based on, as Ann said, the grant project, the grant policy and procedures that we have in place that we used for the Quad City 8 libraries, etc. So it's very exciting.
This is. It's like the first
really
step,
is.
one more step closer.
Yep.
Are there any further questions? Hearing none. May I have a motion, a second, to pass the resolution to approve the IGAs?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second.
Do you want to do a roll call?
Yeah.
I think probably we should
Let's
with the
move on.
resolution. Yeah.
Dave Barry.
Yes.
Susan Grissenbart.
Yes.
Judy Crocker.
Yes.
Kate Hall.
Yes.
Lisa Knapsack.
Yes.
Mary Jo Matusek.
Yes.
Paul Mills.
Yes.
Kathy Parker.
Yes.
Scott Poynton.
Yes.
Dee Ronald.
Yes.
Michelle Simmons. Well,
Yes.
Laura Turner.
Yes.
Jane Ward.
Yes.
Lori Wilcox. Brett Zippo.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Great.
Resolution is approved. Now, the next item on the agenda is item number 9, unfinished business. Dee?
Have any unfinished business?
It's all finished.
What?
Finished or new?
Very good. Congratulations.
Thank
everyone.
you. I'm sure that won't last long.
Next one is board development, number 10.
Yes.
Mary
Okay.
Jo.
In your packet, I sent some information for you about ESA, which is the current rendition. Thank you. I haven't gone back to school yet, so I'm the Elementary Secondary Education Act that was originally passed and signed into law in 1965. It was part of Johnson's War on Poverty,
Great Society, all that, yeah.
He wanted to improve things. So it's gone through different things throughout the years. It's added the Bilingual Education Act in 68. In 94 was a big change. They put in, said districts had to have standards, had to look at adequate yearly progress. 2002, it became No Child Left Behind and mandated additional testing. In last December 2015, there was a lot of support for it, and the new version was updated. And it is now called Every Student Succeeds Act, ESSA. They are in the process right now of releasing what they think are supposed to be the assessment regulations. They've done public hearings to hear from different parties who are involved. Comments are still, we're still taking them up to the first of the month. And then the states have to have competitive programs figured out for them to start in October. And then the final regulations will be presented sometime this fall. In February to April of next year, the states have to submit plans for the following school year. And there's formula grades that are coming and everything. The reason that I wanted to bring it to you, just for your information, is that this is the first time in probably 40 years easily that they've actually included school libraries.
Yay!
That are effective. Somebody has finally realized that yes, school libraries are effective. AASL, which is the American Association of School Librarians, actually, as one of their documents, they now have a definition for an effective school library of certain things that should be occurring all the time, activities, what it should look like when you walk in the door. Not so much physical, but what the kids are exposed to. So it's really a big thing, and ISLAMA is, of course, working with the statues, and that's the Illinois School Library Association. They did some training this summer. They are planning some more training, something that ISLAMA is going to try and push again, and we're working with every library counts. Every library, the advisory council. We are going to be pushing again, we keep pushing to have a librarian, a person whose job is the library, and to be qualified. It's not something that's mandated across this. It's not mandated in the statute except to say there should be a person in charge of. It's very washy. It's unfunded, so a lot of people say no, which is why we have a lot of schools that end up losing system membership. Is because they no longer have a librarian, a school librarian.
We have a lot of students that are losing out on.
Yeah. And we discussed this at the membership membership standards meeting too. So
yeah. So I'll be keeping you abreast of the progress this will make.
So is there money for school libraries?
There's actually some money in there.
That's amazingly great.
We're fighting for our cut of the pie.
Yeah.
You know, there's bilingual money and the whole money that's out of there. And those programs are important, but also school libraries because we affect every child.
Right.
Cool.
Very good.
We should probably do some training, some CE about this, I think.
And I would also think it would be helpful as working in a public library, technically, yes, we aren't impacted by that, but all of the public libraries that serve in districts where they don't have school librarians are heavily impacted by this, and that would give a really good reason for others to stand up and say, hey, this isn't just important because of the school librarians and having the effectiveness of having a school librarian in the school helping the kids, but also because it puts additional burden when they're not there on the public libraries that often can't meet the increased demand. So it has this huge ripple effect that I think maybe people aren't as cognizant
Aware
of.
of. Yeah.
And it's just something that the information, I mean, to get out to, and I talk to the administration, but to the parents at the PTOs and the PTAs
Yes.
and all the PT stuff.
On the link I gave you, there's some information there. And AASL has a huge thing on their website, and I put their link. And I know they're still developing some other things to gather support for school libraries.
I think it has to do with the parent level.
Absolutely.
They need to know what their kids are or are not getting in
Uh-huh.
their schools,
There
and how
was
it
a-
affects them in the funding and how they devote.
Yeah, there's a great poster that AASL did several years, and it's 100 things your kids miss if they don't have a school librarian.
Not just Elephant and Piggy.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Thank you for all your hard work.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
This is very exciting.
Yeah.
It is. It's very important.
And then, so not only will you keep us apprised, but you'll let us know if there's anything we can do to help further
Absolutely.
spread the word.
Absolutely.
And I can also say that we had very specific conversations about this when we were in Washington as well.
Yes.
Because it was a big push by ALA and it was successful.
Yes, and there's some Republican Senate candidates who would never get my vote. Because he chose not to vote or voted no on this bill.
And that was very unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. Next item.
Thank you, Mary Jo.
Thank you, Mary Jo. Yes.
You're welcome.
Item number 11, Rail Board member reports. Anything, Kate, you would like to add anything?
Like Kate's going to have something to add.
You know what, Dave? I feel like I've added enough to this meeting. I'm good.
She adds so much every time.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I would like to add something because I very rarely do, but I'm very excited about this. I actually don't hardly ever add to this. We just finished building a pergola on our property and a pier. So the pergola, the concrete's still drying, and they've already been using it. We did a s'mores barbecue. What do we do with s'mores? Do them over a fire. The concrete's still drying, and they were using it. So I saw that on a Facebook page that night. I'm like, oh, okay, it's getting used. So I'm really thrilled about that. It's a really good. We have 14 acres of space, so we're really improving our outside
That's great.
space.
Well, and you have a natural prairie.
Which is
Right,
lovely.
we have wetlands in the back part, but we also have a prairie area we walk on, and people do it for exercising. And the pier we just built, kids love it. They're on there looking at the fish. They can actually see into the water, so they love that. And we have the pergola. We have 2 pergolas, but this one actually is going to get used. The other one doesn't get used that much, so I'm really excited about it.
That's great.
We're going to get to the fishing poles. We're going to check those out at some point.
board members.
Oh, we're going to check out fishing poles at some point. As soon as I investigate the insurance implications of hooks. Call the insurance company first to find out about how that affects your insurance.
That's all part of your legislation too, how
Yes.
you're maintaining those hooks. Yes.
Surprisingly, adding a pier did not increase my insurance. It actually, if you think about it, it actually makes it a little safer because you're not actually walking into the lake. You can look over the lake now, so it really didn't affect my insurance at all. So yeah, but I'm very excited about it. You know, I don't get excited much, but I'm really excited about this. I can't wait to have our first wine and cheese event on the back patio with lights in the evening.
Nice.
Under the pergola.
Wow.
Okay.
Very nice.
Anybody else?
I have a couple things, Dave.
Oh.
First, I actually just want to say I just had a really wonderful conversation with Rails own Carolyn Coulter. We had a conversation with Innovative to see if there's some cost-saving opportunities for both Prairie Cat and Pinnacle regarding some shared services. And so we'll see where that goes.
Excellent.
Yep. So that was really nice with our friendly vendor Innovative. The other thing is, and I don't know, did she leave the room? Oh, there's Rhonda. Veranda was in attendance, actually, at our first online high school graduation ceremony, and
In the state?
yeah, we're the first in the state. We're the first in the state. We had 3 graduates from our Career Online High School program. We made the front page of our local paper. We've actually gotten a lot of great publicity. We had one of our state senators our keynote speech, who the state senator is also the chair of the education committee for the state of Illinois. So I thought that was a wonderful keynote. And I just, we're really excited that Rails is going to, is making strong efforts to make this more available to more members throughout the state. So, wonderful program, and thank you, Veranda, for coming.
There's libraries in the state, in Rails, going through the training to provide access to online high school diplomas now, and there will be a few more cohorts after that.
Wonderful.
Cool. And I'm happy to talk to you.
Okay. Do the other members have any things? No?
Here or anywhere?
Anywhere.
This is
Hey, there's one
Laura.
thing.
Oh,
Yes,
sorry.
Laura.
In East Peoria. I'll just say something that we're doing. Kind of relates a little bit to what Mary Jo was talking about. So our library, the Caterpillar Library, is doing a research project with the Purdue University Engineering Library. And we are looking at how our working professionals' information and how their research skills and habits. And Purdue is looking at how their students research, and we're going to, make some comparisons based on that. And in the midst of this project, one thing we've talked about is what are the information literacy standards as students go through school. So when Mary Jo was talking about, I can't remember the acronym, the thing that the ESS or whatever, it just was making me think, will they be working any information literacy standards into school libraries or into, the elementary school curriculum? Because we're finding all the way down at our end, some of what affects how people research in the working world is if they learn to do it in school. So
Absolutely.
I was, excited to see that the school libraries are being recognized, and any work that could be done to kind of more solidify information literacy, I think is of value to all libraries.
Yes. I'll be happy to send you links to Illinois. It's called ISEL. It's Illinois Standards something. It's really bad that I don't remember what ISEL stands for. I'll send you the links for that. I will also send you the national links, both through SL and through the technology educators. They have a set. And all schools that are worth their salt try to get those information skills in, starting, a lot of them start even in kindergarten. With this is a book, this is how you use the index even, they will start. And it goes all the way through high school and hopefully college too. I know some college libraries have done research classes before, or they will have university librarians who will help students, like with a class, doing research. So Dave may be able to tell you more about what Milner does now. But yes, we do try to get them research skills every which way possible.
Okay, great, thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Oh, wait.
Oh.
Okay, I just wanted everybody to know, we talked about it earlier here, but y'all out there don't know it. The governor has passed a bill, the Brookfield Library wrote a bill to, we're a village library, a bill to sever our debt, or to sever the village's debt from our debt, so that in Brookfield, I'm sorry, I'm not making much sense. Okay, let's start all over. Okay, so the village has a debt limit, and so we wrote a bill to sever our debt the village's debt so that we could go for referendum and the village would still have funding for what they needed. And the governor signed it Friday afternoon.
That is great.
Good.
That is great. Very excited. No, that was a big lobbying effort on behalf of your state senator?
Yeah,
Or
actually,
rep?
yeah.
Yep.
It was amazing that we got a lot of support downstate. It got rolled into an education bill. And so it was really a very bipartisan thing. So it was great.
It's good. It's good to know that can happen.
Okay.
My graduate school, where I got my master's degree from, they asked the alumni to send in your bios and your stories, and they would select 3 alumni to use in their marketing campaign in a commercial and documentary. So I was selected, and out of the many hats that so they sent out this film crew, and they followed me around like a reality TV show. And so out of all the hats that I wore, they chose the library in the documentary and in the commercial. And the commercial will air on the 29th of this month. I'll keep you guys posted, but the documentary is actually online now.
Cool.
And then the commercial, it's going to be on like regular TV, like Channel 2, Channel 5?
Regular TV.
Good.
Oh, and what university is it?
American Intercontinental University.
American
Wonderful.
Intercontinental. Very good.
Cool.
That's great. Congrats.
Good promo for the libraries, too.
Yeah.
Hey, Dave, I just wanted to throw one thing out. The last few years, our library, White Oak Library District, August has become our major events month. And last year we had our first ever Comic-Con event, Comicopolis. We had 800 attendees last year.
Wow.
And it occurred last Saturday. We had 1,018 people
Wow.
in a library that I told the fire marshal would only hold much less than that.
And that's
Yes.
now been recorded, so.
It was a great success, and we're looking to expand it into like giant tents outside next year.
Yeah.
Wow.
Who knows how big this thing will become someday? But in year 2, we have over 1,000 people. So.
Wow.
That is great. That's such a huge thing.
You should do it outside of the tents.
Yeah, especially in August. Yeah.
Okay.
That could encourage interesting costuming choices.
Yes.
Those occur already.
Let's go to item number 12, agenda building for our next meeting.
Well, we'll be in Quincy.
Yes.
We will have the membership standards on the agenda. We'll have the audit presentation from the auditor.
Wow. That's a 10 a.m. start time, right?
Yes.
And then we'll do a tour after, before? What are you thinking?
Well, probably not
Or
before.
Quincy Public Library?
Sure.
Not before.
Not before.
You going to drive?
We're going to fly, but we thought driving was more economical.
There's also a train option.
Oh.
It's about as
And
long, but
you
you're
can-
not actually
You
driving.
can come the night before.
Not do that night.
Okay, and you
There'll
will
be
be
a
sending
dinner.
out information
I'll send out
about,
information.
Train is fun.
Please respond.
Yeah, we'll send out,
Our Rails email addresses.
yes.
There'll be no longer emails being sent to your
Anyone else? Anything else?
non-Rails email address.
Unless it's about your librarian, you want email that way.
Sure.
Like
If I'm writing
not
to
Rails
you
stuff.
about your library, of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
But not-
and you'll
not
have,
Rails
Kate,
before.
you'll have information about the policy committee recommendations.
You'll send the train.
I hope so. We're
Yes.
meeting on September 9th, so
Exactly.
I would hope.
You'll send the train info, Emily?
Yes, we will.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And now, item number 13. I will yes, Mary Jo.
I would like to make a motion to adjourn, and I would like to also compliment you on the speediness of the.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. And is there a second?
I'll make a second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you all.
Thank you, everyone.